Ah, okay. Welcome everybody back to the Empire Gaming Podcast. I am your host with the most, Cole Pepper, here with my co-host.
Oh, Jay, you did it. You did it last time, but I'll do it this time. This is Jay. How you guys doing?
All right, guys, before we get into this, I just want to let you know this podcast is powered by OP Seats. We sit about an average of 13 hours a day, so get yourself a chair you enjoy sitting in, not one you hate. Click on the panel or link below to get $15 off your purchase at OP Seats. All right, Jay, I think we got some pretty good topics today.
We do, and we have a special guest. If you want to introduce him now, and he can unmute his mic.
Yes, we have Continuum, who is, I believe he is one of our Overwatch players.
Yes, sir.
That is.
You can go.
I guess tell us a little bit about yourself, Continuum.
Sure. So my real name is Andrew, but you can call me Continuum. That's fine. So I play for Empire for the Overwatch team. I'm an off-tank player, and I mostly play Zarya and D.Va for our team.
Very nice.
I've been playing the game since it came out. That's just another tidbit, but I kind of got into the team scene more recently in the past year or so, and now I'm with Empire. So
very nice. How do you like it in Empire so far? Since because you've been here a good while, right?
I think back since December or so.
Okay.
It's honestly been really fun. Before that, we were a little bit more unstructured, so that's been kind of nice to be in a more professional environment.
Right.
But definitely overall super positive experience so far.
Hey, well, that's good. I'm sure Jay's glad to hear that.
A little bit. I like that. I'm glad we could help. So, the reason you are here today, while we may delve into talking about Empire Overwatch, is that Overwatch League is right around the corner. And we figured we'd get a professional of your stature to talk about some of the new teams coming in and where you think the current teams are going to rank.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So I know you have the list of teams you want to.
I'm gonna read them off for you.
Sure.
In the Atlantic Division, we have the Atlanta Reign coming in, as well as the Paris Eternal, Washington Justice, and the Toronto Defiant. And coming off in the Pacific Division, Changhao Hunters, Guangzhou Charge, Hangzhou Spark, and the Vancouver Titans. Now, keep in mind, the founder of Empire is an NYXL fan, so choose your words wisely.
Well, I will say, I'll put a disclaimer that I'm not going to be the best analyst here of saying which team's the best. I will also say that I am an NYXL fan as well. I also like London, and I kind of have a thing for Spark now because I really like their team colors. Who knows if they're actually going to be good, but just throwing that out there. I think there's going to be a couple of these new teams are going to be really interesting to watch in the next few days once the season starts. Probably the biggest team that people are interested in is Atlanta because they have DeFran, and he's a pretty infamous player in the community. And on Twitch and stuff, he also is a big streamer. Some of the new Chinese teams are also going to be interesting. And on the lower end of things, I've heard that Washington Justice is kind of viewed as a lower tier team, but I've actually had the chance to play with a couple of the people on that team, specifically one of the tanks and one of the support players. And I mean, they were really good. Obviously, they're professionals. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what these not beginner teams, but the new teams have to offer for the league.
Mm-hmm.
What's the current meta we're going into? I believe they're trying to do a better job structuring the patches and being more clear with what is going on between each stage and each week. So is it still GOATs?
It seems like it's still GOATs. So the league, at least for stage 1, is playing on, I think, the most recent patch that came out, which had some changes to how armor works and Brigida and things like that. So that's obviously at play in the meta. But from my experience and what a lot of the higher level players and coaches are saying, GOATs is still around. Some variants might be popping in and out, but it looks like that's kind of where things are. But then again, it's also not that's what you see on 100% of maps, because comps and meta comps are something that is very map dependent. And there's always can be surprises as well. So we'll have to see.
Now, what hero would you say currently is probably the most overpowered? Just out of curiosity.
Most overpowered?
Yeah.
Probably a lot of people would say that it's Diva,
Mhm.
just because she's on the face of it. I wouldn't say that she's overpowered, but the problem with her is that she provides so much value just simply by being around. And they did actually nerf her in the most recent patch, but she's still like a pretty big force to be reckoned with. So I think she's going to be around for a long time.
That
And she's
Reaper got
also
a
been
buff.
in the meta for like the entire game or the entire existence of the game. So
Right. Now, what about most underpowered?
ooh, that's a tough one. There's a couple. It's probably an off meta pick like Torbjorn or Bastion. Bastion actually has a couple places where he's viable. I'm not so sure about in the pro scene. Maybe Symmetra or Torbjorn though.
Gotcha. Okay.
Did it? So Reaper just got a big buff, and apparently people aren't happy about that.
Yeah,
Question
so
mark?
that's a pretty interesting one. A lot of people that are like in the average like casual scene or like average ranks in comp are kind of having a hard time dealing with it. Just because he is so powerful now. It's really hard to kill him now, basically. In the upper tiers, it's honestly I'm not too sure. I think it's a bit early to see the like buffs total impact on him, but he is being played more. Not too sure about what we're gonna see of him in the league, but I think he might see some more playtime than he has in the past.
Quality.
Okay.
With you being an NYXL fan, we could talk a little bit about that now. Flower and Nene. How do you say his name? Nene.
I'm not sure.
Either way, Flower's the Wonder Kid. We're all gonna be watching. Do you think they're gonna get redemption in season 2?
I think they have to try. I
That's
mean,
fair.
they got so far in season 1, and then
Missing out on the coach though, that was like a big reason why. Obviously, the players are mechanically skilled, but their coach is pretty legendary.
yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, I just think overall they're a really, really, really solid team. All the players are phenomenal, especially Jonak because he's just a legend.
Literally changed
Yeah,
Zenyatta.
yeah. I mean, people like look up to that man. So I think it's gonna be interesting. They're definitely gonna come out strong this season. I know for sure they're like top tier. If you were to break it down like by tiers, they're definitely like in the upper echelon of that. Same with like Spitfire and some of the other teams. But I think it's going to be interesting to see if they actually can pull it off this time. Who knows? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm hoping they do because I bought tickets to the Barclays Center in New York, expecting them to be there, and they weren't.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, it was still pretty amazing event. Like the quality that Blizzard did.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
maybe not DJ Khaled. We could have gone without that.
I mean, that made for some pretty good.
Yeah.
But
now what about Shanghai? Because didn't they go 0-40?
Yeah, in season 1, pretty unfortunate looking record there. Now from
that's a sad.
Yeah, it's not amazing. But so I haven't been paying too much attention to them. But I know there's been a lot of roster changes. And from what I've heard, people are saying that they're going to be one of the top tier teams this season. Yeah. So whether or not that's going to happen,
we'll see if they bring it. I guess.
Yeah. I will be watching that match.
Hey, Jay, I think you're muted. I think you're muted in chat. I think your mic's muted.
There's just no way. Has it been muted this whole time?
Yeah, your mic is muted.
I clicked
Unlucky.
it. We're not uploading this one to YouTube. I clicked it. I wonder if it's a setting. Oh, it just got muted? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna have a keybind.
Oh. That makes sense. I was about to say
I had
because
to keep
I
on.
figured they would have said something
Yeah,
beforehand.
yeah, okay. I would have been so pissed. Yeah, it starts tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the first game is going to be a rematch of the grand finale. That's going to be Philadelphia Union versus London Spitfire. And if I could bring up, they're Pacific. Shanghai Dragons, I think they still have. I don't know how to access their website. Oh, they do. They still have. Oh, they don't. Oh, no, they do. Gugari.
Yes. That's
Who-
another. I have a soft spot for that team because of her, because she's like an insane Zarya player, and I definitely look up to her as like a tank. So that's cool.
Now,
True.
I kind of have a question. I guess it's more of a personal one. Since I'm an Atlanta native, how do you think that they're going to end up playing?
Atlanta?
Trash.
Well, if it's like any of our other teams, I wouldn't expect anything less.
Atlanta United.
How do
You
they
know,
do? I don't keep up with soccer.
They won it all after 2 years
Really?
of being in the league, yeah. They have a
Huh,
ton of money.
okay.
They have a ton of money.
Wow. Well, at least one of our teams is doing so good. Can't really say much about the football team, though.
All right, well, let's hear about Atlanta Reign.
So obviously, like something that's super important in, I mean, sports in general, but also like esports and Overwatch in particular, is team chemistry. And so it's going to be interesting to see, I think, these newer teams who haven't been together as long kind of coming together at the beginning of the season and just trying to do well. And I imagine that some of these teams might struggle a bit at the beginning just because they're new to the league and there's some pressure there. Atlanta in particular, I'm not too familiar with the players except for DeFran. So I guess we'll see if he can pop off and carry them a little bit.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Well, hopefully big things will come from them, at least to offset our other teams.
Now, before we maybe move on to another topic, I'm not too sure when our next open division season is, but how is Empire Overwatch shaping up? Continuum.
Yeah, so last open division, I believe we ended up going 8-3.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were pretty close to making playoffs. I had a couple rough games in there just against some really, really good teams. But other than that, I think, we've gone through some roster changes here and there, but I think we're at a point now where we're playing in some other tournaments and we're getting our roster more finalized and set up. And we're working on like communication a lot more. So I think we have a really solid lineup of players now. And I think moving forward, we're going to be able to do a lot better. And I think in the next open division season, I'm honestly not sure when that is either, but I'm looking forward to that because I think our goal is going to be playoffs on that one.
Absolutely, and I love to hear that. But how are you going about filling the void that we all know and love, Carthage? Because for anyone in chat, his life is going amazing. He just doesn't have the time for Overwatch. Nothing bad happened between us. But that is a void we do have to fill. And how is the team going about that?
Yeah, honestly, like that is the toughest role to fill because Karth is a nutty Pharah player. And so projectile DPS apparently are hard to come by these days. But the whole process of like having tryouts and stuff, it's going all right. And I think we've kind of been going along with that for a couple weeks, and we have a couple people that have come back for multiple tryouts. So I can't say too much. But I think we're gonna find somebody that hopefully makes Karth proud at least.
For sure. I'm sure he'll be
do him good
in the back supporting us. Amazing person, amazing guy, great leader, but he's also really good at real life, unlike some of us. So moving, now that we're talking about Empire, and we have a member of the Union in our presence, that would be Empire Culpepper. The Union is our newest stream team it's not the official Empire stream team, but it is our newest stream. We'll still call it a stream team.
Right.
Within Empire. So do you want to touch upon that? Culpepper.
Yeah. So I'll kind of give my backstory and how I came to be on it, I guess, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so originally I joined Empire as a PUBG player, and life and stuff kind of got in the way, and I really enjoyed it, and I still really love it, and I still keep in contact with all the guys on the team. But uh, like school time and everything like that, I just wasn't able to keep up with the everyday practice and everything like that, so I kind of stepped away from it. But I've always had a really big passion for streaming, so um, I'd always applied to be on the stream team. My stats have never been great for streaming, so whenever I saw this come along, I was like, huh. So I ended up applying for it, and Jay, you said I could be on it, so
I did say that.
here I am. And basically, what it is, it's we kind of provide a positive kind of community. What's the word I'm looking for?
Environment.
Yeah, environment.
There we go.
And we kind of go around. We try to help out all the other streamers and all the other just people in general who are in Empire. So I mean,
So yeah.
So far I've enjoyed it a lot. I've enjoyed getting able to know my two new teammates, and
Let me do this really quickly. So I'm just gonna interject for a second. I crossed my
Yeah, go
fingers
ahead.
so I didn't forget. I saw Continuum muted his mic. Continuum can go if he would like to. He can stay if he wants to. But thank you very much for Continuum for being here for his part. Continuum, you can go ahead and plug any Twitch or Twitter socials you want in chat. So everyone here can go follow you and keep up to date with Empire Overwatch.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being on,
Thanks
bro.
for being here.
Yep.
And so like that's a little tip for anybody here right now. If someone else is talking and you have to remember it, just cross your fingers, because when they're done, and you're like, why are my fingers crossed? And suddenly you remember your question.
Huh.
So,
I like that.
That was a very good answer, or backstory about how you became a member of the union. Obviously, you were part of our PUBG team. That was one of our first teams. Went semi-pro, we'll call it that. Too bad Jeff, worst founder NA. Someone clip this and send it to him. What was their organization name again? Fakest Organizer.
Fatal Ambition.
Fatal Ambition. Clip this, tag them, fake. Hold on.
love it.
I need to re-permit him. But yeah, fake. Anyway, you guys came back, but you got... Alright, I don't know. I'll tweet it out later, continue if it's not working in chat. I think you got timed out. There we go. Came back, but things kind of got busy. PUBG team. I think Requiem is now the only original member there.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of... Backstory. He's in he's figuring out a team. I trusted him with that right now. We haven't been in touch. Well, we've been kind of up to date for the past month. Anyway, back to the union.
Okay, so I do have a question. What kind of brought you to want to make this, and like what's your whole plan for it going forward?
Okay, so obviously we have an official Empire Gaming stream team.
Right.
We get a ton of applications for that. Some people don't like to read requirements, so we have a ton of applicants who just don't fit the requirements. Because normally qualifications for the stream team is you meet the base requirements. I kind of follow your stream for a week or two, interview you, and then you become a member if we're tight. So like Nerd Brigade, we were tight. He's insane. He made it onto the stream team. Some other people might not. But either way, we have a ton of applicants, right? It's people who want to be a part of a community, want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, want to support other people. And for a very long time, we were just turning them away. And that sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, from
I
our
think
standpoint...
that's what I applied for first before I got on the PUBG team.
From the standpoint of an organization, that's turning a ton of people away. And from their standpoint, that's a rejection when in a very oversaturated market, like, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So, a little extra effort can go a long way. I decided to put in the effort to making small graphics, manuals, to kind of cultivate this Empire Union environment. Trying to figure out a gosh dang name took forever, by the way.
What made you come up with Empire Union?
It's like Union is a group of people, right? That supports each other, and one of the words in our motto is unite. and that's I didn't think I was gonna get anything
I
better than
see.
that. I didn't think I was gonna get better than that.
I like it though. It fits. It works.
And basically, it's like an environment of. It's going to be there's going to be more people than what our stream team would be, but that's good because there's always people to bounce ideas off of, always people to support, get support from, play together, and I think so far it's working out really well.
Oh yeah, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, it's incredible.
It's like everyone has to start somewhere, right? So like
Right, yeah.
by giving them the chance, I think it's a good environment for an affiliate streamer to grow and maybe then reach that. So basically it's like, I'll use the metaphor of soccer, right? You have your professional team and you have the academy team that funnels teams to your professional team.
Right.
Think of that when you think of the union.
Okay.
Just because you're in the union doesn't mean you can't succeed on your own. Like we are providing that environment for you to eventually make it to our stream team.
Right. Now, what
Yes, nerd one day.
now what are kind of some baseline things you look for when you I had the way to word this in my head and it just bounced
When we
right out.
look to accept members, invite them.
Yeah. What do y'all look for whenever, like, what are the baseline kind of standards that you look for with somebody?
So we're still with the
accepted?
union. We're still looking for Twitch affiliates. I think we did make an exception for Minifu, who has just been an amazing member of the Empire community for months.
Yeah.
So that was like a asterisk next to his name. But for the most part, you have to be a Twitch affiliate above the age of 16. And you would not believe the amount of people that apply for an organization that the moment you go to their Twitch channel, they're being toxic. Someone is being racist.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to go put forth a ton of effort to kind of vet everyone onto the union. Like, it's a little less effort than the stream team because we're not interviewing. I'm not watching multiple of your streams.
Right.
Like, but so if I go to your stream and it takes me 5 seconds for you to figure out you're faking an accent to be an awful human being, then you're probably not going to be a member of the union because it is just pure positive environment. Like that is
Right.
even this, like, okay, so any team, so the stream team will have its negatives, will have its ups and downs, but like the union, like that's just supposed to be like
all up.
have a good day. Like just, and obviously it's not going to be, right? But that's supposed to be the mindset. Like, let's just, anytime someone's having a bad day, there'll be more people to kind of build each other up.
That makes sense. And it's like, that's kind of nice too, because that's kind of what I based my entire, like, just my channel around is like happiness, positivity. Like, obviously, I am not like that 24/7, but
yeah,
it's like at the same time, I try to keep it positive. I try to make sure anybody who comes into my stream, I'm always greeting them, asking how they're doing, stuff like that. And I feel like just little things like that can be really uplifting to people. Like if someone comes into your stream and you're like, hey, how are you doing? How's your day going? That, like, say someone's having like a bad day. It's like just asking simple stuff, showing that you care like that is such a good feeling.
Exactly. And with so many people around you, like we have Huntress, Griff. It's Glyph.
Glyph.
I really got confused.
I'm Griff. He's Glyph.
I know. You're Griff. Sorry.
No,
Hipster Bear, Cheese, Mini, and Shadow Knight. I believe
now,
that's everybody.
Who is technically the first member?
I think Cheese. Cheese.
Gotcha. Yeah, he popped into my stream the other day, and I didn't know how the heck to pronounce his name. I was like,
it's Cheese. It's Cheese Master. I'll say his full name is. But so with so many of you, like someone's always gonna be popping into someone else's stream, and that like when you pop into a streamer, like a small streamer, and like they see chat, like they just, it's like a whole new streamer, which is awesome. Yeah. I'm just reading some of the shit Nerd's saying on the right of my screen.
Oh my god.
Hi Strata. Strata's the, I won't say grandpa, because that might be
the grandpa. Yikes.
He's the wise old man of Empire.
Now, do you think people who are in the union, like, are the requirements to be a part of these stream teams still the same for them, or do you think if they're able to get enough experience under their belt being on the union that they could move up, but maybe not necessarily meet all the requirements to join the stream team?
That's a good question, and that's honestly a road I've thought about it naturally because of the progression that has to come.
Yeah.
But we haven't crossed that road yet, so I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. I think I'd rather keep base requirements just because then it's like
It's kind of fair for
the argument can come up. Oh, why'd you help her or him, and not them?
So kind of just to prevent favoritism, just
Yeah.
keep it at the baseline stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then at least it's always a goal to grind towards. Because if you're goal oriented, and you see that, you can eventually get there.
Exactly. Yeah. I gotta work on my viewer count though. That's for sure. That's the only thing lacking.
Yep.
Is
Over
my
time,
viewer count.
baby steps, consistency. Oh, what were his? Hold on. What was the 4 stream tips from our man Nerd Brigade? Consistency, market yourself, positivity. I don't know. Nerd, you're in here if you want to share your 4 tips with everyone else while we move on to a more legendary topic. Like that segue? You're dying. I need you to acknowledge my segue.
Sorry, what?
As we move on to a more legendary topic.
Apex.
That's Apex Legends.
Yes. Okay.
The game that came out of absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
And
That's
it
mad.
already beat Fortnite completely out of the water. Like,
Alright, let's not say
viewer-based,
that. Let's not say
player-based.
that. Hold on.
Well, it beat them out of the water in a shorter amount of time.
Okay, I can see that. I think right now it still is the fad. So I think you want to give it a month. Unbroken, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Empire Podcast. What champion do you play? It's always because Blackout killed it for like 2 weeks. Blackout was above Fortnite for 2 weeks. But there's something about Apex that I think might suck a lot out of Fortnite.
It came out of the door. This is how my buddy described it. It freaking landed on its feet, tuck and rolled, and started out into a full sprint. Like it. Whereas, what's the game?
Blackout.
Blackout, stuff like that. When it came out, it still didn't feel like a full entire game.
No, and like they had hype behind it. Like you knew Blackout did a beta.
Exactly.
Blackout did an open beta. Blackout had a pre-launch, a launch. Apex Legends was like, I'm here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Drop in.
Yeah, it just kind of threw its cards down on the table.
Like, I can't. Who just...
Yeah,
XCal86, thank you for the follow.
It's incredible how it just like came out of nowhere. Now,
And it's like, it's smooth too. Like the game...
Oh, dude, it runs great.
Like,
yeah.
I had a problem loading it the first time I was playing it, but I think my computer was poor. But, like, there's minimal problems with it.
Oh, absolutely. Now, talking about, or asking who Unbroken when he followed, who he plays, who do you play?
Okay.
Or main, I guess.
I was in trying accent, but let's just not embarrass myself. I play Bloodhound.
Oh, there you go. Bloodhound's fun.
Because I'm pretty sure his accent's German. So I'm German, and I was just like, you look sick, I dig your accent, and like, you are just hunting people. When you ult, you're like, where are they?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty bad at shooters, so if everything's black and the person's red, it makes it easy to shoot.
Right, yeah. He's a fun character to play. I personally prefer Mirage. A lot of people don't like him. They think his like ult stuff are underpowered, but it's like, if you know how to correctly use it, it can be really, really good.
Dude, yeah. It's just...
Yeah, it just kind of depends.
It feels like to me, like if Overwatch was to make a battle royale, and Overwatch, while I can't play it, or I try not to play it too much because I get way too toxic. It's so tilted. I still like Overwatch. Is my favorite game, I would say. World of Warcraft. Overwatch is my second favorite game, and this feels like an Overwatch battle royale. You have abilities, you have guns, obviously. But like the ultimate, like that just adds a whole. Like, do you save it for this fight? Are you gonna make it through this fight? Like,
right?
It's so sick.
Yeah.
Thing I hate though, I do hate one thing, and it doesn't have to do with Apex. When you play a new battle royale game, if it's not your standard like M4 AK type guns, figuring out the new guns in a game.
Oh,
man.
it's difficult, dude. I'm still struggling. Like
Peacekeeper. Why is it called the Peacekeeper if it rips someone's head off?
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I guess.
Like I feel like is a bigger learning curve to me, at least as someone who understands like an ability ultimate system.
My biggest thing I've struggled with going from PUBG to playing Apex, I overcompensate with the recoil because it's like in PUBG you have to like pull down when you're shooting to keep up with the recoil, but it's like in Apex there's like no recoil, so it's like my mouse is like all over the place trying to stay on the target, and it's like it's rough, but I'll get it eventually.
What are your thoughts? Because when I first started streaming, when I first started watching the streamers, I thought I was watching like Tim, or I was watching like Courage, not Thieves. What's his name? 100 Thieves guy.
Yeah, it's
Matt. I know his first name.
Oh my god, why can I not think of it? It's
Somebody tell us in chat. Somebody save us.
Oh my god, who is it? I'm gonna think of it. And
I'll think of it in a second. Someone in chat will tell us. But they were playing, and I thought they were just not playing with the fourth.
Nate shot.
And then a couple hours later, it was still threes. Squads of 3. No solo, no duo queue, always squads of 3. What are your thoughts on that? Because that is something that across all battle royales is different.
On a smaller map, I think it's nice. Me having been so used to PUBG, I would like to see them put a bigger map in and have a bigger squad maybe, because it's like I feel like even just regularly with the 3-man squads, it's like no matter what, you're getting third partied, and you're getting third partied. It's just incredibly difficult to be able to get out on your own after a fight, because it's like if people are near you, they're going to be hearing shots and they're going to run right to you.
Yeah.
So it's like
it does make
I'd
it
like
fast
to see a
paced
bigger.
though.
Yeah, so it's like if we were to have a 4-man squad on that map, I think that would be too much. If they added solos and duos, though, I think for that map would be really good.
I think
but like I said,
it's hard to even know their game plan, because like they could have like a DLC ready already. You know, like who knows? With how they launch this game, like we have no idea the content behind it. And I had another comment about it, but I forgot. With your PUBG background, do you think that Apex will have an esports scene?
Well, they're already talking about a college scene, so I could see it. Yeah.
So data miners found solo and duos apparently, but did data miners find an esports?
Did they find 4-man squads though?
Or
any other maps?
I feel like
I heard about ranked play coming XCal.
In the current state for video games, esports, like it has to have an esports scene basically.
Oh yeah.
If the game doesn't have an esports scene, it's not gonna last.
Yeah,
like Sea of Thieves came up for a little bit, but it's gone. So Apex, I think, has to.
Yeah, I feel Apex will be a little better because, like XCal said, they are coming out with ranked, and I think with ranked that'll make it a little easier to kind of segue into an actual like pro esports scene.
Yeah, I mean,
so I could definitely see it
from, I guess, an Oregonian stance. I obviously follow certain people on Twitter. I know that 100 Thieves is trying to find a team. I think Team Liquid or Cloud9 I think was looking for a team. So like they're already trying to get ahead of the curve.
Right.
I think because they can.
Yeah, I think
and they can pretty much make it happen. You know what I mean? So like if they wanted a scene, they can make it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these orgs, they're kind of projecting and seeing that it does have the potential to have a very big esports scene, and I think they're just jumping on it as quick as they can, trying to. Because
Blackout absolutely did not have an esports scene when that was originally projected to. Because I remember Optic Hex, the owner of Optic, was saying like if obviously Pro Call of Duty's on, I think, PlayStation. So he was like, what is Blackout going to be on? What's the pro scene for Blackout? Like, thinking there was going to be a pro scene. And that game went Didn't
They did a
tuck and
lot
roll.
wrong
Didn't
with
tuck and
it.
roll. Didn't have its parachute out. Splat.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, nerd. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, they did a lot wrong with Blackout. First, my biggest thing that I hate and just can't stand about that game is the armor, dude. It's like you can shoot somebody with 2.5 clips.
And you heal. You move just as fast when you heal. So it's like armor, move, heal.
Yeah, and it's like when you put a 2.5 clips into somebody, they can turn around and just two-shot you, and you're just like,
It's like
huh?
sick game, fun.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I've loved Call of Duty since World at War, and it's like, I like the multiplayer. I love the multiplayer. I used to be super competitive with the Call of Duty multiplayer, but dude, Blackout, it ruined it. It's like, don't get me wrong, I still play the multiplayer on console and on PC, but dude, I can't play multiplayer Blackout or battle Blackout. Yeah, it's rough.
That's a fair statement. XCal said it still does better than PUBG. Rip PUBG. It doesn't have an esports because of regular COD, so that is a factor I'm sure plays. Because it's not like they're gonna split their efforts into 2 esports when there's no need to.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Valid statement.
Yeah, I think Call of Duty definitely is a lot more successful with their multiplayer esports stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, because if you think about it, I mean, COD in a way kind of pioneered the whole esports scene.
Oh yeah,
100%. Multiplayer FPS games.
And I'm sure if we were a bigger podcast, somebody in chat would be like, actually, it was StarCraft. Because I'm sure there was a game before it.
Actually.
And I'm sure there's a games before it, but I think COD, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when esports wasn't a thing, like Call of Duty really, somebody else probably did it first, but Call of Duty shredded the path for everything else.
Yeah.
Because I remember being like 13, like, guys, everyone get on game battles. We have a game at 6.
Yeah.
So, and we'll clip this and we'll post it everywhere. And maybe 14-year-olds will be mad at us. But, Culpepper.
Yes.
Is Apex killing Fortnite? Is Fortnite dead?
I think it's in the process.
You think it's in the process? Okay.
I don't think it just came up straight out and just gun to the head, boom. I think it's more of, I've been slipping little bits of cyanide into your tea every day for the past week type of thing. It's slowly killing it.
Okay,
like games
fair.
like that, they're never gonna die just like that unless you're Blackout. But Fortnite, as big as it was and as popular as it was and as popular as it still is, I think it's gonna take a while for it to just completely kill it, you know?
So I was gonna play devil's advocate here, but in my head, current games like that are so driven by Twitch audience.
And that's true, yeah.
So 100%. I think if Apex becomes the game to play, buy Fortnite. But if streamers play both, Fortnite's fine. Fortnite has the foundation. It's a great game. Totally new concept, building. And for the most part, like up until this past season, I think Epic Games, they're amazing developers. Like what they did with Marshmallow, insane. They've been very responsive to the community. But this past season with like play-ins and certain things in the competitive scene,
I didn't like that.
Everyone was complaining. So it's like Apex had this little like bomb to drop, just waiting for Fortnite to be a mistake. And this past season, I think, was a mistake.
Oh
and
yeah,
they were like, this was
Apex
the perfect
took advantage
time.
of that. Yep. Because it's like nobody knew it was coming out, and it's like people at like big
10 million. The numbers was 10 million.
Tested. Oh, it was insane.
10
absolutely insane.
Yeah, so I think he worded that good. Unbroken. It has the ability, so will it do it? Because no one's denying that it has the ability. It's fast-paced enough to be a real shooter. It's not like if your team dies. So like, imagine like a sick esport play, like a tournament play, obviously esport.
Yeah.
Where you kill 2 people, 2 of your teammates down, you get them, you take them to a beacon, you clutch the game. That doesn't happen in Fortnite. If you go down, you go down. Like that paves the way for so many insane plays and more intense gameplay, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely. I love the fast-paced aspect of it because it's like Blackout to me was too slow.
Yes.
Fortnite
Oh god.
kinda slow. PUBG is definitely slow, but it's like Apex kind of has a good combination of all of them. It's got the battle royale aspect, it's got the fast-paced multiplayer COD aspect of it, and it's got the good Overwatch aspects of it.
Mhm.
I mean, all around, I feel like they were kind of just sitting back there while all these battle royales were coming out and just taking notes.
Fair, absolutely. And then, so Apex, or not Apex, Cal said something. Apparently the number's 25 million by now. I didn't see that, but let's roll with it.
That's insane.
That took Fortnite over a month to achieve. So I just also
Yeah.
want to change. Twitch has changed absurdly in just a matter of a year. So I'll give Fortnite that. I'm not gonna count that as a stat against them.
Right.
Twitch has the ability to sway the opinions of so many people in games that I think I'm not gonna count that stat against Fortnite per se.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
We're kind of we've talked for a while already, so I
we
think
have.
it would be time for Q&A.
Yes.
So if anyone in chat at the moment has a question they would like answered about Empire, about anything, well, if you want to ask Culpepper his shoe size, go right ahead, within reason.
8.5.
Dude, you have to have him ask it. But we do have, so as chat asks us some questions, I'm going to go find new Twitter. The questions we were asked on our Twitter. And the first one was a question by your very own Requiem. Do you think,
my boy?
so chat, you can answer this one as well. Do you think pineapple goes on pizza?
Nope.
That was a bold, quick, no, I agree. I've never had it,
Yes.
so I probably should have it before I say that. But that just seems weird to me.
But see, I don't think that the savory should go with the sweet with pizza because the pineapple's sweet, the pizza's savory. I don't like it.
I just I want a plain slice of pizza. Like, give me, or like a buffalo chicken.
Oh, buffalo chicken, yes.
Chicken bacon ranch. Okay, maybe I just don't like
Italian
pizza.
sausage with green peppers.
Not on my keto pizza. Interesting. Keto pizza.
Too much sugar.
Let people live. Good answer. But we had to answer it because it was asked to us. So if you like it, I don't think you're weird. Damn, roommate thinks he's trying to use you for clout. Interesting, bold choice.
Nah, he's bringing me a little roll thing that we're cooking.
What a guy.
Cheers,
what a good roommate. What a friend.
Smoky didn't turn the fucking fan on.
Oh man.
If you do like pineapple on pizza, enjoy it. Do you have any questions from chat? No.
I do not like it.
No questions from chat
ask us some questions, whatever you want.
We do have one more. So chat, please have one by the end of this. What is the primary focus right now for the organization?
Ooh, that's a question for you.
I know. And I just answered the last one too. What are you eating? Answer that one before I answer mine.
It is one of the so you can buy the packets of the stuff that they make the rolls with from Red Lobster. That's what this is. It's one of those Red Lobster rolls.
I haven't eaten one, but I've heard those are the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Primary focus of the organization. We are approaching being an organization now. I think this is our 11th month of operation. It'll be our birthday sometime in March. At the beginning, I said I wanted to be considered or have a semi-pro team by the end of 2019, which means we kind of fund a team and we have a sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've always kind of been proud of myself for having that big goal, right? But being realistic in where we are as an org and what I need to do to get there. Because everyone's always like, I think everyone's so obsessed with, I want to be a professional gamer, I want to be a professional streamer, I want to make a professional org, that they lose sight of where they are. Good. I'm not even saying I want Empire to be the next phase, like semi-pro right now. That's fine with me.
Okay. We got a question here from Amy. She goes, "If you join the union, is it required that the streamer must play an esports competitive game, or is it open to streamers who play other games?" Oh, other games like variety. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have to be like one of the popular games. You could stream Sims and be on it.
Yeah, so you do not have to play an esport. So I can weave that in back to my question anyway. That's so the three entities of Empire are the Empire Stream Team, the Empire Union, and Empire Esports. So you can be part of those three. They don't interconnect because they each share similar benefits, which is also a current goal of the organization right now. So
Right.
I'm just focused on growing really right now, and not growing our esports because that was a bad habit of mine in the past. We're focusing on 4 small teams, and no spoiler alert, but we may have something big in the works coming up.
Are you gonna tell me about it after the podcast?
Yes.
Yes.
That may help us get to the steps I set for the end of 2019.
Right.
So
Well,
we're coming on a
that'd be cool.
year, and I can't thank all of those around me enough. So a primary focus of mine also, not the org,
Everyone
is,
in Empire, give yourselves a pat on the back.
yeah, not losing sight of, because while I'm very proud of everything I've done myself, there's so many of you guys like yourself that have helped me. So a primary focus of that is continuing to support those around me who have helped me build an empire.
Haha, badum.
So how does one get highlighted on the Empire website for contributions to the stream team and the union? This is another question for me because this is another back. So our website needs some updating. Can you agree?
I agree. Yeah. Now,
Okay.
that kind of leads me into another kind of question. Now, in the past, the competitive esports teams, we had different so for the different teams, we had the player about, and then an about the player.
Yeah.
Will the union get one of those as well on the updated website?
So, I'm working on an updated website. That's no secret. I've talked about it in general chat. What it'll look like and when it'll come out is still an ETA. But, as for highlighted member, so I'm working on a feature on the website that'll have like a rotating gallery of all of our current Empire Stream teams.
That'd be cool.
And then under that, or somewhere on the website, just our latest YouTube video. I'll probably include an article every time we release a YouTube video. Unfortunately, the union will not get individual bios on the website. I think with how fast it's going to grow.
Now, what about
That's just
like
that's effort I can't afford to place there.
now? Say what about like a picture or said streamer's like logo, and when you click that logo, it goes to their social media stuff or like their.
So maybe I can at
Twitch
least
or-
give them a page with a link, right?
That would be pretty cool.
Just so, because I guess you're right. I shouldn't neglect them there, but with a
Well,
lot of people,
I'm not saying you shouldn't neglect.
neglect is just, okay. That was probably the wrong word, right? But
I'm just putting it out. I
yeah.
was just curious. I mean,
But
it doesn't.
because that's fair.
Matter if
They
I
are
do.
part of it, so I don't want to not do anything, but I also don't want to spread myself too thin. But
like,
they
I don't
can
wanna try
submit
and-
clips and
Uh-huh.
hashtag clips to be in our YouTube video, which will get you on the website.
Heck yeah. Yeah, like I wasn't trying to say I don't want to put myself like that. I mean, 'cause
Yeah,
if
no,
you want us more like behind the scenes type
no,
stuff,
I do.
completely...
It's like I probably shouldn't have used the word neglect, right? That's a strong word.
Oh no,
which
I knew what you meant though. I
yeah.
knew what you meant. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, because that I didn't lay out. The union was like a 48-hour plan. I was like, let's get the ball rolling. I didn't lay out a plan as much as I would have for a sport or a stream team.
Yeah.
So, like I said at the beginning about something, I guess we'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Right.
Because I've always tried to be as transparent as possible. I would love them on the website, but I don't know if I can.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, you definitely want it to look clean and not be like too much on the website.
Which is a new focus because officialempiregaming.com got the job done, but I think we're moving on past tacky. We're official. It has to be done though. I needed a domain at the time. And I'm not going to say any domains we're going to get because I don't trust those in chat to go buy it and make me pay more money than I want.
Right.
I think unless someone can ask a question while Culpepper is doing the Sector 6 ad reel, we might begin to wrap up. But while he's doing that, if you have any other questions, shoot them our way.
Yes. So just a little thing. Usually I'm supposed to say before we get to the questions for this, but just so I'll say it after the questions. This podcast is also powered by Sector 6 Apparel. Shop the Empire Athletic today and pick up an esports jersey, hoodie, or performance jersey. Click the panel below and use code Empire to get 5% off your purchase. Let me tell you, I have some of the stuff. It's quality.
You want me to drop a bomb on you right now?
Drop a bomb on me right now.
Don't even use the code Empire. Because until tomorrow, and including tomorrow, Sector 6 has a deal. Coupon code LOVE20 for 20% off all apparel.
Why would you not get something then, right?
Why would you not? Beautiful jersey, quality jersey.
Exactly.
Quality hoodie, performance shirt. So if you're shredding at the gym, and someone comes up, it's like, dude, why are you shredding? It's my Empire Performance tee, bro. So I think you can kind of start wrapping it up because we don't have any more questions.
All right.
Covered all our topics.
So I think we did. And on that note, everybody, this has been the Empire Gaming Podcast. Thank you, everybody else, for coming out, joining us, and hanging out and asking questions. I don't think we don't really do our topics, so I guess we'll have those.
We do know when the next one is though, because we know the Wednesday.
Go ahead and let us know when the next one is.
So, day the 27th. I had like a thought in my head that we really butchered this closing, but I had a thought in my head. Either way.
Oh, I wasn't closing just yet. I was just kind of.
We do the podcast. We try to plan it the second and fourth Wednesday of every month. Yeah. That is it. So there might be a 2-week gap. There might be a 1-week gap. Luckily enough, February 27th is our next podcast.
Be there, be square. All right. So on that note, everybody, thank you so much for coming out. Jay and I both appreciate it so very much. And on that note, we will catch you guys next time. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in.